Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So why do I make it clear that homosexuality is a sin and that it's not for me? Well, if we look at Numbers 12, we see that Aaron and Miriam were arguing against Moses and his Cushite wife. So we see that people have argued with the person who God put in charge on this issue before. We see in Psalm 45, it says, your beauty will make the king desire you. Submit to him in some versions, honor him, obey him, bow to him, for he is your Lord. And it's talking about the king who's established a throne in righteousness and justice. We know that from Proverbs 16:10 through 12, and from the whole chapter of Psalm 45. He's riding forth in the cause of truth, justice, and humility. Now God in his spirit of justice is going to prevail no matter what. But people will be punished more and eternally if they keep me from a suitable helper. We said in Genesis, it's not good for him to be alone. Let me make for him a suitable helper. And he makes him a suitable helper. Now God makes him a suitable helper from the person's essence, from the person's spiritual sort of design. And so I need a beautiful woman who I see as beautiful, mind you. It's not forced on me or people trying to get me to settle, right? Set is another name for the devil, set and settle. But somebody who I train to be worthy inside and out, to make love to be my wife, what have you. Keep in mind that Christ is called the bridegroom and I'm Christ. Marshall is marital scrambled and I, the top martial arts ever possible, and the Son of God, Christ, the Christos, the Anointed One. There's also a parable of the 10 virgins, right? And you see that Christ's mother, which is a kind of archetype to some degree, in its true form, not its propaganda form, which is a disgrace of a wife, right? A virgin wife, in what sense? So she doesn't have to be a virgin. Ideally, she would be, because of the time we live in and how difficult that would be to find, among other things. But to be born again as worthy because of her characteristics, and because every female is outside the divine order. No female is worthy. Okay, so no one can argue this, that, or the other thing in that regard. Now, if an unattractive female were to insist on herself, or someone was to insist on her, on me choosing her on behalf of that person, they would be making the devil's argument. They would be arguing that the devil is right and not God. And they would be arguing against the Bible, say they're a Christian, Muslim, or Jew. It would be stupid, right? They would be arguing that Psalm 45 is magically wrong. They would also be arguing against me personally, God and I, and my martial instinct that tells me that that's what I need. That is the divine verdict.